Hey everyone, it's Edward from Sword and Fortress. I know our schedule was for some Star Wars Legion, but due to technical difficulties, excuse me, uh, we're actually going to be throwing a quick game of Escape the Dark Castle down. We'll be doing some Star Wars Legion on Friday. So now we'll just go ahead and kind of play around. If you've never played this game before, it is a really fun, quick get together, have some fun with family and friends, dice and card castle game, dungeon game. So you've got to survive so many cards to try and defeat the boss and to try and get out of here. So for our bosses, we've got the Dark One, the Demented Priestess, the Death Knight, the Undead Queen, the Terror of the Underworld, and the Plague Lord. Go ahead and give these guys a shuffle. And then we'll take this one. So the nice thing about this game is you can vary the difficulty up by however many rooms you want to do. So we own all 3 expansions to the Dark Castle, so we have quite a few rooms to pick from. So normal difficulty is 15 cards. So we're going to take these and give them a good shuffle. Split them into 3 decks, and then we'll pick 5 from each. So let me go ahead and get some self-love on. And of course, for those who are watching, make sure you give yourself self-love, especially in 2022. You know, you can't count on others not giving you love. So you got to make sure you take care of yourself. Give yourself that self-love. All right, so continue shuffling. And then we'll do 5 cards from this pile. Shuffle this pile. Now, the cool thing, too, is they've also come out with Escape the Dark Sector. So if you're not into the whole fantasy setting, you can be into the whole Escape the sci-fi setting with the same kind of setup. You know, trying to get through dungeons with cards and stuff like that. So with that shoveled, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this pile. So give it a couple good shuffles. Now, I have to admit, even with playing with friends and family, we do not have the best success rate. So do not expect to see us actually come out of this. All right, so that gives us our 15. Now, since I am playing solo, there's a little bit of a change in how this game's played. Yeah, there's that. So we have 18 health each. So if you're playing solo, you get to pick 2 cards. I'm picking the Mason and the Tanner. They've got different symbols on their dice, like strength, wisdom, cunning, and that corresponds to their dice. And what you do is you'll be rolling these compared to the chapter dice. And that's how you defeat things. So the Mason and the Tanner have 18 health. And because we have the Plague expansion, we'll also have to deal with Plague points. So we'll keep track of that down there. So now that we have our deck, here is our item cards. Set that card on top because that's our starting card. And we go ahead and get ready to dig into this dungeon. So let me go ahead and flip over here where I can watch when ads happen. This way we're not blindsided by it. And we'll get it on. So I chose to play as the Mason and the Tanner. The Tanner has got some pretty good wisdom and cunning. Not much strength, so we're going to go ahead and back it up with a whole crap ton of strength from the Mason. Now, one thing about this too is, if one person dies, the whole thing's over. You don't just continue getting going. You have to be all for one and one for all. So, let's go ahead and get this on. So, pull out your favorite beverage. In fact, I've been drinking that dew, but since I'm going to be doing a whole lot of talking, I should probably pull out the awesome canned water that we hope to one day get sponsored by, because these guys are amazing. Okay. So, much better. All right. Now that we have done things to our thirst, let's do things to this castle. So, flipping over the first card. After years of incarceration in the depths of the dark castle, you finally break free of your cell. In a small stone room adjoining the cell block stands an old wooden chest. The lock is open. Draw down an item card from each player now. So since we are dealing with curses and other things that come with the expansions, you have to designate who's drawing what, who's doing what. So the Masons go ahead and draw first, and he's got the tattered knapsack. So this does not count towards your item limit, which is normally 2. You may carry 2 additional items. Before each chapter, you must choose which 2 items are in your hands and which 2 are in the knapsack. That's huge to have right off of the bat. So, what does the Tanner get? The Tanner gets a frayed net, weapon 2-handed. Discard it during any round of combat to prevent any enemy attacking this round. That's going to be huge coming, more towards the end as we start getting low on life and damage is being dealt to us. So after drawing the item cards, you hear footsteps approaching. You must not linger here. You make for the exit, slipping away and disappearing into the darkness. Turn the first chapter card now. So we're going to go ahead and have the Mason draw the first card. Here, 3 slippery, steeping stones lead out over a wide plague-infected cesspool. It will take great balance and skill to leap between the stones and reach the other side. The bubbling waters contain disturbing reminders of those who have failed here before. One at a time, each player must roll their character dice along with the chapter dice 4 times. Each time the player's character does not match the chapter dice they rolled, they slip into the bog and gain 1 plague. If the player rolls a double on any of the 4 rolls, they land safely. So we're hoping to get some doubles so that we can just skip over this. But every time that we say he sends up the might and we get a cunning, he's going to take a point of plague. And as these plagues start to build up, they do damage, and it gets bad. So we're going to go ahead and let the Mason go first since he opened this door first. So for the first time, he gets a plague point. For the second time, he gets a plague point. For the third time, he finally gets some doubles and is protected. So he stumbles twice while going across this bog of doom and death and stink. There's a good labyrinth reference here, the bog of eternal stench. That's basically what he just had to slog through, and his foot went in there twice. So now we're going to have the Tanner go, and she gets it. She's fine the first step. Second step, she gets a double. So the Tanner, seeing the eternal stench sticking to the Mason, super concentrates in and goes, oh, hell no, I am not stepping in this stuff. So at the end of the chapter dice, or at the end of each chapter, you get to pull an item card. And of course, you have to designate who gets it. So right now, the Tanner has the frayed net, which is two-handed. So she really doesn't have any other slots open. So the Mason's going to take this card, and he gets some liquid luck. Discard to re-roll your character dice, applying only the second dice, the second result. And yeah, now we are ready to go into the next chapter. This time the Tanner's going to take the lead because the Mason's trying to clean all of that putrid gunk off of his foot. Several armed figures spring from the shadows and attack. You become separated from each player and must fight alone. Roll a chapter dice in front of each player to represent the muggers attacking them. However, the muggers want your items. Players carrying 2 items roll 2 chapter dice instead of 1. Begin combat. Combat special. Each time a player would take damage from a mugger, they may avoid it by discarding an item. No player can rest until the muggers attacking them are defeated. They may then either rest or help another player defeat theirs. A player aiding another takes damage as normal and must declare who they are aiding before they roll. So unfortunately, the Mason has 2 guys because he's got 2 items, but the Tanner only has 1. So we'll roll for the Tanner. So she's got to get strength, which is not good. That's very much not her strong point. The Mason has to get 2 cunning. So this is going to be an interesting fight. Yeah. Okay. So, and then each time we take damage, that's the amount of damage you take every time you go around. So we're going to go ahead and have the Tanner go. Oh yeah, don't need to roll that. She has the strength. So first, the Tanner gets the doubles, which prevents her from taking any damage, so nothing happens there. The Mason gets the doubles, so preventing anything there. So the first round's done. Tanner again. Okay, she does not get the strength. So she's going to take 1 damage, bringing her down to 17. The Mason gets the strength as predicted, but not what we wanted. So he's down to 17. So here we go. Tanner. She takes 1, bringing her down to 16. Mason doesn't get what we needed. He is down to 16. We might just die right here on this card. I mean, just how unlucky is this that we rolled the weaknesses for both? The Tanner proves me wrong. So she defeats her opponent. The Mason does not. He takes 1 damage. Okay, the Tanner is going to try and help the Mason out. Mason doesn't take any damage, but the Tanner does. That's what you get for being a good Samaritan in this game, by the way. You try to help your friend out, and everything just goes bad. And they both take damage. So we have already lost 4 points of health on each side. The Tanner knocks 1 of those chapter dice out. They've just got 1 more guy remaining. Both of them are at 13 health. And the Tanner takes that final chapter dice out. So yeah, not the best start to this thing. I mean, the Mason already has 2 plague points and is already down to 13 health. The Tanner was able to avoid the bog of eternal stench, but she took a beating trying to help the Mason out. The Mason's going to go ahead and draw the card and gets the Ritual Chalice, which is cool, but not necessarily what we wanted. The Ritual Chalice, discard it at the end of any chapter to perform a blood ritual. Any number of players may choose to lose any amount of HP. The total amount of HP lost is gained by any one other player. So basically, if you were playing with a full party of 4, you could sacrifice this, have 3 people lose like 3 life, and then somebody's going to get 9. It's not so helpful right now, but we'll see what happens because it still can give us some life transfer. All right, so the Tanner opened that door. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the Mason. And the Mason finds this passage takes you past dark and unlocked cells. From inside, the sound of bony hands clutching steel is unmistakable. As a group, choose one option. Begin combat. We charge at these skeleton bastards who are coming after us. And only have to roll chapter dice for each player. But they do 2 damage if each turn. Or lure them out, give them 2 extra chapter dice, and they do 1 damage. So what do you guys think? Those who are watching. Should we charge them or lure them out? What's your thoughts? And you know what? We'll go ahead and go after the ad. So you guys got about 30 more seconds. Let's see. What do you guys think? Should we charge at them or should we lure them out, giving them extra chapter dice? Honestly, I'm kind of the opinion to do charge them, get them knocked out. But on the flip side, I mean, lure them out. They've got 2 strength and 2 chapter. So the Mason can really deal with that lure them out. Let's see what you guys think. All right. JRA says to lure them out. We could go with that maybe. So, then we should be in ad time, so we're going to go ahead and kind of... VMA says charge. Well, VMA would say charge. I mean, let's be honest. VMA is balls to the wall. Let's go, boys. So, for our subscribers, do you guys have any comments or questions about this game? It's lots of fun. Me and the family enjoy it to no end, both this one and the Dark Sector. The kids love it because it's simple. You can roll dice. I mean, admittedly, there's a little bit more on the mature side, so when we play with them, we edit some of the things out. But even then, it's still not as bad as a good Halloween story, at least in my opinion. I'm sure others would beg to disagree. So, but yeah, our record during this ad break, our record for getting through and defeating a boss. I mean, let alone seeing the boss. It's hard enough just to see the boss. But defeating the boss, I think I've probably only done it twice in the amount of games that we've played. Hermione might be able to contradict me. I don't know if she remembers better than I do. But it gets, it gets bad. As you guys will see as we continue this. I'm kind of hoping to see that, but I'm also a little bit worried. I mean, we saw with that one card, I rolled the exact negative thing for each hero. So it might be the case that with only having 2 characters and not getting a variety of dice out, we might be more hindered than not. So we're going to go ahead and go with charge, because I think we can pull it off with just the 2 character dice. And it's going to have to be all Tanner here. The Mason is not going to be able to do anything to help out here. So, on the first attack. Holy crap! The Mason gets the wisdom, and the Tanner just straight up owns the cunning. So, yeah, good call on the charge. Thank you, VMA, for supporting that idea. And we easily defeat those skeletons that were coming out to harm us. Now we go ahead and get an item card. We'll go ahead and still have the Mason do it because he can carry the most. Oh, no. Plagued. You begin to feel weak and feverish. You notice a dark abscess forming on your wrist. There's a sharp pain in your abdomen, and you fall forward, coughing up thick black bile. You must roll for plague. And he gets 2 more plague. So this is where things start to get scary, because as soon as you reach 5 plague, you start taking damage from plague. And it gets progressively worse. So 5 plague, he loses 1 HP. 10 plague, he loses another HP. And then starting at 15 plague, and every 5 plague after that, he loses 2 HP. So we're only 3 cards in, and the Mason is already sick as all get out. Das ist nicht gut. All right. So I think it's the Tanner's turn to open the door. What do you guys think? Who should open the door? The sickly Mason or the Tanner? All right, Tanner it is from JRA. Tanner. All right. The passage is blocked by a portcullis. 2 complex systems of gears and levers must be manipulated in perfect unison to open the way. Nominate 2 players. Hey, look, 2 players. To work the mechanism. Place an item card from the bottom of the deck face down in front of each of them. They must then make simultaneous rolls, and after each roll, must place a chapter die onto the symbol on their item card that matches what they rolled. On a double, they may place one onto a symbol of their choice. If the symbol is already covered, they cannot place. After each roll, if there are more dice placed on one card than the other, the player with fewer dice loses 1 HP. When the dice have been placed with all 3 symbols on both cards, the portcullis rises. I think we have never run into that card, and that is just brutal. So we're going to put item cards here. They have the symbols for strength, cunning, wisdom. And yeah, we have to roll. This is going to be brutal. All right, so the Tanner gets her wisdom. The Mason gets his strength. So after each roll, if there are more dice on one card than the other, the player with the fewer dice loses 1 HP. So we're good. We've got 1 of each. The Tanner gets wisdom again, so she can't place. Oh, no. So our good friend Mason somehow pulled some cunning, and the Tanner loses 1 HP as her hand's going to get stuck in the gears. That's a little bit on the rough side. All right. Tanner getting some doubles. Because she's weak in strength, we're going to go ahead and give that some strength. And we've already seen that, but that is a double. Tanner is going to go ahead and get some wisdom on, but that does make it, the Mason's going to get some wisdom on. That makes it to where the Tanner loses 1 more HP. No need to roll there, and we finally get it. The portcullis is open. I'm really actually kind of surprised that we did not lose more health there. All right. So the Mason, with his backpack, is going to go ahead and continue drawing the item cards, just because we really want to keep that frayed net. Actually, you know what? We're going to take that frayed net, give it to the Mason, and he's going to hide it in the knapsack. So now the Tanner is going to go ahead and start drawing. Oh, man. So now she's plagued. She avoided the bog of eternal stench, has been able to keep the gross sickness off of her this whole time, and now she's plagued. So how much plague does she get? She's at 3. That's no good. I need to double check and see if you get to be able to carry it. Draw another card after that. I think that's it. Yeah, you don't get to continue drawing. All right, so we'll have the Mason go first this time. Half concealed in the gloom ahead, a hooded man is crouched, examining something out of sight. He notices you and hisses a curse, and suddenly unleashes a spiked projectile from his sling. It strikes your brow, and you fall dazed to the stone floor. So the Mason who opened the door is now down to 12 HP. You are helped to your feet, and upon reaching the spot where the figure stood, you find a stone tomb forced open. The grave robber has fled, but you appear to have interrupted him before he could collect his spoils. Draw a card. So the Tanner is now cursed. Temporal vortex, the ghostly laughter of the Death Knight rings out. Swirling vortex suddenly rips through the chamber. All players lose 1 HP as it goes over them. Oh man, we're already down to 10 health on the Tanner. All relics are sucked into the vortex. Any player carrying one or more relics must shuffle them back now into the item deck. Discard this cursed card. So the only relic we really had was the Ritual Chalice, which honestly we're not too upset about losing, because they're both pretty much close to health. All right, we continue. A monstrous winged creature swoops at you from the darkness above. Its hunting cry is deafening. You, that would have been the Tanner, must try to roll cunning or double in one attempt. Success, you react quickly and dive aside. Begin combat. Failure, its claws slash your shoulder. You lose 2 HP. Begin combat. Combat special, after a player has taken damage from this creature, they can no longer block it. Ooh, that's not good. So the Tanner does not get it. Oh, wait, no. The Tanner was the one. Nope, yeah, that was the Mason. So the Tanner loses 2 HP, bringing her down to 8. And we begin combat. So we've got this, and 2 dice for the 2 players. Strength and cunning. All right, so we are going to go ahead and have the Tanner rest this turn, bringing her up to 9. And the Mason's going to see what he can do. He gets rid of the cunning, but takes 2 damage, bringing him down to 9. That's a little rough. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get both people in there. We need to kill this monster. Oh, wow. So, both of them rolling doubles. Knocks that out. Knocks that out. Neither of them take damage, but now neither of them can block. And the Tanner finishes the monster off. Whew. All right, so both players are down to 9 HP. We're officially at half health. And yeah, not good. We're not even halfway through this deck. So the Mason's going to go ahead and open the door. You turn a corner and step right into the path of 2 guards. They exchange a puzzled look, then lunge to restrain you. As a group, choose one option. Flee? You force your way past them, but not before taking several glancing blows. Each player loses 1 HP. Or fight. Begin combat. So these guys are going to do 2 damage, but we have the chance just to run away and only take 1 HP. What do you guys think? Should we fight them and potentially knock them out in 1 try? I mean, it's possible. We're only going to have 2 dice. Or should we just go ahead and flee and take 1 blow? What are your thoughts? Let's hear it. What do you think we can get away with? You know, I'm starting to sense a pattern between JRA and VMA. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with VMA again, even though I gave advice to both VMA and JRA last time we played that you don't want to fight every time. But we're going to do it. So, The 2 dice we got to get. The Mason is not going to be able to help out at all, but we'll see what happens. So the Tanner gets that, and I'm actually going to use the Liquid Luck Potion, get it a little early, and re-roll this bad boy. No, it doesn't matter. So they both take 2, bringing them down to 7. There we go. That infamous double that we're starting to see. And that's knocked out. So the Tanner, going to go ahead and draw. And we get another Liquid Luck. That works. Okay, the Mason's going to open this door. Clouds of sweet-smelling incense hang in the air of this chamber, where several shadowy figures are carefully inspecting a shrouded corpse. Near the door is a wooden rack holding several items. As a group, choose one option. Move on. You have no business here. Turn the next chapter card. Still, one player must roll 2 cunning and 3 attempts. Success, you sneak through the haze and retrieve what you can. Draw 2 item cards. Failure, in your clumsiness, you disturb an unmarked file, spilling some of this thick liquid over a small wound in your hand. You must roll for plague. So with how little plague we have, at this point in time, it's just random, whoever's opening the door, and who I feel can take the health point loss. I don't know. I think we can actually do it. Even if we fail, we're going to have the Tanner do it. She's got some room to spare on the plague. What do you guys think? Should we go for it and try and steal, or just keep moving on? Both say move on. You know what? I will trust that advice. We are good with that. We are just going to go ahead and move on. We have no business here. These are not the robed people we are looking for. So the Tanner, go ahead. We'll go ahead and have the Tanner open this one. As you feel your way along the lightless passage, a faint whispering sound reaches your ears. It's a single word, hissed bitterly over and over. Mine. 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 The sound grows closer at a rapid rate, becoming a scream as clawed hands are thrust towards you from the darkness. Mine! So the Tanner opened this door, so must choose one option. Flee, you all get away, but the Tanner must lose 2 HP in an item, or 3 HP, or begin combat. I think it's a smart idea to do combat. What do you guys think? Because it's only a cunning and 2 other dice. And he's only going to hit for 1 point. Any viewers that want to chime in? Because I'm kind of leaning towards combat. JRA is going for a run. What about VMA? Because I'm a little worried. Running's going to cost the Tanner 3 health. That's going to bring her down to 4. I think we got to fight this one. So, because I don't think we can risk the Tanner getting down much more. I mean, either of them, much more health. But taking 3 HP is huge. So, let's see what happens. All right, the Mason's going to have to pull a lot of the weight on this one. So, the Mason does take out a strength. We're going to use that Liquid Luck and see if the Tanner can get an eye, a cunning. She gets a double eye, so she's protected. And the Mason is only going to take 1 damage. Oh, no. Okay, that one was cocked. All right. And the Mason finishes it off. All right. We're going to have the Mason draw the item this time. See what happens. A partially rotten apple. Oh, God. Here comes the bad apple jokes and all the stuff that we have to do with these bad apples. There is some really bad history with partially rotten apples. Before we take this, the Mason is going to go ahead and just pick up the apple that dude dropped and eat it. I mean, an apple is an apple. You got to get your calories and substance somehow. All right, so this time we'll have the Tanner open the door. No, the Tanner opened the last door. Mason opens the door. And somehow I pulled a character card. It's the Abbot! All right, I hope there's not any more character cards in here. That's slightly embarrassing. But it's nice to see that the Abbot is also running around the Dark Castle trying to figure his way out. He blesses both of us and then keeps running. All right, so the Mason opening the door. Oh, that is just disgusting. I mean, just look at that. Yikes. You hear the rapid clicking sound of claws against stone as the creature beyond description scuttles out of the darkness. Its movement is frighteningly quick, its snapping jaw laden with long, sharp, needle-like teeth. As a group, choose one option. Begin combat, rush it, and keep it pinned. We've got a wisdom +2. It's going to give plague and do 2 damage. Or surround and counter attack. It's going to be strength, wisdom +2. What do you guys think? Should we surround it or just rush it and try and get it knocked out? Because honestly, either way, this is bad. Because the first time the Mason gets hit, he's going to get another plague, which is going to cause him a damage. Yeah, this is just a bad situation all over. The poor Abbot, I think the Abbot led this thing to us. That's the story I'm going for. The Abbot was running from this, and the Abbot left us with it. I think so. Giving that self-love, that's where I vote towards. I say we surround it. It's less damage. We can try and take it out. All right, let's go for it. I'm going to go ahead and do some strength, some wisdom, and roll 2. All right, strength. All right, we got a lot of work ahead of us. Here we go. So the Mason knocks out both strength and is defended. The Tanner knocks out a wisdom, but unfortunately she takes 1 damage, bringing her down to 6, and she's acquired another plague. Now, do I need to roll for that, or is that just you add 1? All right, just gains 1 plague. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and have the Mason rest this turn. Get him up to 8 health, and the Tanner's going to try and knock this guy out. Oh, no. So the Tanner gets her 5th plague and a damage, so that takes her down to 4. So she's going to step back and let the Mason go for it. The Mason, so she's going to go up to 5 this round. The Mason's going to drop down to 6 because that's his plague. And we're going to go ahead and let the tanner sit out one more time. The mason was able to block. So the tanner is back up to 6. Then they're both going to go for it. He blocks again. The tanner is back down to 5. She's got one more. Oh, we need that cutting. Oh, we need that cutting so bad. So the tanner is down to 4, so she's going to take a break again. The mason's just been blocking it off. He continues to block it off, keeping this beast at bay while the tanner continues to try and heal. There's another block. The tanner's back up to 6. Can he keep blocking? No, he can't. That was nice, but yeah. All right. One more time of the tanner chilling off. The mason blocks it again. So he's still at 5. The tanner's back up to 7. She's going to step in. The mason's going to step back. Oh, she takes 1, bringing her back to 6, but the mason's now back up to 6. Can we get... All right, she blocks. So the mason's up to 7. And the tanner finally kills it. And bringing the mason up to 8. So as bad as that could have been, I mean, they saw a lot of plague get added on. We actually saw a little bit of some healing. We actually got some health back. All right, so the tanner's going to go ahead and go for it. She gets another potion of liquid luck. And she'll be the one that opens the door. Oh, man. Another evil-looking guy. You've heard many stories about the creature they called the Bloodthirster. You dismissed them as mere legend until now. Its body does indeed run slick with the blood of its victims. Again, that's something we'd normally cut out with the children for the family-friendly version. To begin combat. Combat special. For each round, the Bloodthirster only attacks the player with the lowest health, which would be the tanner this time. If more than one player is tied for the lowest health, it attacks all tied players. So, we've got a strength, got a cunning, a wisdom, and another strength. Hey, does this seem familiar to anybody? All right, we're going to go ahead and roll. Wow. So the tanner knocks that out and blocks. And the mason doesn't do anything. Doesn't take any damage because the Bloodthirster is only going after the tanner. Wow, they both roll eyeballs here. You know what? Since the mason's already rolled the eyeball... Oh, no, that's not any good. All right. The mason's going to go ahead and throw that frayed net. And it's going to prevent any damage to the tanner. And I don't think she can step back because the Bloodthirster is going for her. So they both have to roll. And luckily the mason, being the boss he is, knocks the Bloodthirster out. So the mason drawing a card. The Fury Shard. Once per round of combat, when you roll double, you may roll again and apply both results. That's big. That is huge. Yeah. That's very huge. That's going to help us out a lot. All right. So, who should open the next door? I've lost track. Should it be the mason or should it be the tanner? I'll let you guys decide. All right, JRA's chapping in for the mason. Let me guess, VMA decided she wants the tanner. All right, I like that. We'll go with it. So here comes the mason. The mason draws it. And we've got this scary skeleton here. You wipe dust from the lid of a large tomb, hoping to read its inscription. At your touch, the lid slides open, and a giant knight rises, bellowing that you should have not disturbed him. As a group, you choose one option. Flee. As you run, you are hacked by the Revenant. You lose 3 HP. So that would be our good man Mason here. Or begin combat. So should we flee and have the Mason take 3, or should we fight it? And he only attacks the Mason, and the Mason's got that Fury Shard, so he's going to be able to do some damage. Yeah, what do you guys think? Coming up on an ad break, so talk amongst yourselves. And yeah, should we flee or should we fight? All right. And for those who are subscribed to the channel, we get to kind of continue here while unfortunately everybody else gets to deal with ads. But we love ads. Ads brings revenue. Ads allows us to continue working in this channel, keep bringing you guys interesting content. Yeah, I think, Hermione, you were right. I'm really trying to say, yeah, same answers here. Of course, we've got the split. But yeah, I think we really have only defeated this thing once. We've played it quite a few times. I mean, we've only got 2 more cards till the boss. We're at basically half or less than half health. And yeah, this is getting brutal quick. And that's even with us kind of having the Abbot as a chapter card. So there should have been another monster, and we're already in pretty dire straits. Admittedly, we're in better straits than we normally see with this, but still some pretty dire straits. In this game, though, it's hard to stay above half health. I mean, even with people resting, staying in. I know, that darn Abbot. Yeah, that darn Abbot leading that monstrosity to hurt us. All right, so we're back from the ad break. I think we're going to go ahead and try and fight it. Just because having the Mason lose 3 HP and not being able to draw an item this late in the game is just too rough. So we've got an even spread. It's only going to go ahead and attack me, the Mason, and the Mason can't rest. So let's go ahead and start to swinging. So the Mason, and you know what, we'll go ahead and throw that liquid luck out there. So the Tanner takes care of the Cunning. The Mason has defended. He's already taken out the Fist. I'm sorry, buddy. You know, JRA, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. We should have run, but taking 3 damage and not being able to draw an item, it's just too much. So we're going to go ahead and use the Fury Shard. So we've already applied that. He's already blocked. But can we get anything more? Nope, we can't. So he blocked for the 2 damage. We're good. And now we go ahead and roll again. Oh, the Tanner blocks, but it doesn't matter. And the Mason takes 2 damage, so he's down to 6. Okay, one last time. The Mason blocks. The Tanner also gets that. What is going on here? All right, so we get tons of fists from the Mason. All right, we're going to try one more time. Then we're going to have to start doing some rests. There we go. So the Mason actually pulls it out, gets it, and we're safe. All right, the Tanner's going to go ahead and draw this card. The Healing Verses. So it's a relic. Hey, we've got 2 relics. And it's good we knocked out that Vortex card. Whenever you roll a double, you may restore 1 HP to any character. Where was this card when we started? This should be like an automatic starting card for this game. That thing right there. All right, here we go. Tanner's turn. Ooh. Scary girl. The piercing wail of a banshee is as painful as it is terrifying. The sound lifts you off your feet and throws you to the ground, where you writhe, covering your ears in agony. All players must roll their character dice 5 times. For each roll that is not might or a double, that player loses 1 HP. Oh no. So this could almost kill us off if we don't roll might. So the Mason's pretty safe here. But the Tanner's got to roll might or doubles 5 times. All right, so we'll start with the Tanner. That's 1 HP, 2 HP, 3 HP. Oh, there we go. 4th dice roll. 5th one doubles. Okay, and because she's got a double, she's going to heal herself, so she only took 2 HP through all of that. So that brings her down to 4. All right, the Mason. 1 HP. 2 HPs. What is going on? Okay, there's the 3rd dice roll. And doubles were good. All right, so he only loses 2 HP. So the second to last card, the card before the boss, we are going in with 4 HP each. That's really not good. All right. Mason. Oh, we got to draw a card. Stale loaf of bread. We're going to go ahead and give that to our healer because she's desperately going to need it. And she's going to eat it, so she's up to 6 HP. Uh-oh. We've run aground with some bad people. 2 deformed thugs are debating the best way to kill and eat another man when they notice your arrival. Nominate a player to roll wisdom. Well, we know where that's going. Or double in 1 attempt. Success. The attackers flee and the victims reward you from his nearby stash. Each player may either gain 1 HP or an item card. Failure, the attackers kill the man and turn on you, licking their lips and looking you up and down. Beginning combat. All right. So, I think we're going to go ahead and go for it. Can we get a wisdom or a double? So we need that wisdom, Tanner. And she gets the double wisdom. So the attackers run screaming off because the Tanner just looked too badass with her wisdom. She starts scolding them like she was their mother. Now, Henry and Bobby, you don't do this. And they go screaming off. I don't know why I did that. I'm tired. And we get to, you know what? I am not going to risk item cards at this point. Because the gods know this is probably a cursed card or a plague card. Just something else unpleasant. And so everybody's going to heal 1 HP. So the Tanner's up to 7. And she rolled a double. So she's actually going to pump the 1 point there into the Mason. So the Mason's going to shoot back up to 6. She's at 7. Yes, thank you. Yep. All right. This is it. We have reached the final challenge. One last obstacle stands between you and freedom. Turn it over now. I really need to get music for this channel because some music throughout all of this would have been epic. I'm going to have to remember to do that tomorrow. I found some great free music stuff. And we got The Death Knight. My fighting skill is legend. You will not land a single blow. At the beginning of each round, the Death Knight adopts a different fighting stance. Roll a chapter dice and note the result. For the remainder of the round, the Death Knight is impervious to all attacks of this type. Okay, that's not messed up at all. Not messed up at all. All right, we're looking for the Tanner to carry this bad boy. Yeah. All right, so we will start off with the first attack. Oh, at the beginning. So, rolling for what stance he's immune to. He's immune to wisdom, but that doesn't matter because we got some doubles and the one. So, we take out the one strength that was in all of this. The Mason is fine, but the Tanner takes 3 damage, dropping her down to 4. And this is where I hope we're ready, VMA. I really do, but it's not looking so great. We've got the poor Tanner here has got to try and carry the rest of this. So, I should have put the healing verse on the Mason because then we would have had doubles, all kinds of stuff. I made a tactical error. In fact, insert the meme. At this point, he knew he fucked up because that's exactly what's going on right here. All right, here we go. You know what? After that devastating blow, the Tanner is going to rest this turn. The Mason's going to try and do something. So the Mason is just going to get clobbered for 3, bringing him down to 3. Mason's up to 5, or the Tanner's up to 5. Now they're both going to attack. The Mason is just fine, and the Tanner takes 3, bringing her down to 2. Oh, what is this? Doubles everywhere. And I forgot I should have been rolling to see what they're immune to. That's perfect there. So these 2 wisdom disappear. Oh, no. All right. So she's going to heal herself for 1, bringing her up 1 point. And now we need cunning. Just straight up cunning. This is tough because if the Tanner takes 1 more hit, she is out. Oh, we forgot to... All right, so she did roll that. We got strength. And it was cunning he was immune to anyway. So the Mason, she rolled the double, so she's going to give that 1 health to the Mason, which is just in time because he was at 3 health. There. All right, this is the last dice roll. We need to see the double eye and an eye. We got to see it. So, please do not be immune to cunning. Okay, he's immune to strength. Ah, the Mason pulls it for us. But unfortunately, the Tanner only rolls the wisdom, doesn't roll any doubles, can't heal, can't block. And in one fell sweep, the Death Knight kills both. Oh, so close. So close. Yeah, we're definitely, when we do this next, we're definitely going to have some music going. And yeah, definitely going to need to have the music going. So, all right, well, that is it for us tonight. I was tempted to do another one, but seeing how this ran about an hour, yeah, I'm not going to. I'm going to go inside and pass out. So, thank you guys for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you're watching this on Twitch, please follow us, and hopefully you can join us for the next broadcast of Edward getting his butt kicked on Sword and Fortress. You guys have a great night.